Hey, welcome or welcome back to Hearts Glow Tarot. Happy 2026. Happy New Year. Gosh, time is flying. As you can see, I have changed locations yet again for the tarot readings. Just kind of trying to figure out what works for me. I'll be doing a reading tonight, a weekly read for the week of January 19th to the 26th. And the deck that I will be using is Tarot of the Woodland Wardens. It's a super sweet, precious deck. It's really grown on me, actually. I love how each tarot deck can provoke different thoughts and concepts and help you to learn different things. Anyhow, all of that aside, I have our weekly read, so I have a card pulled for the beginning, middle, and end of the week. And as ever, I always look at the bottom of the deck for additional information. I will speak about the cards separately and then cohesively, because as much as I would like it to be a neat little package for a beginning, middle, and end of the week, it seems to me this week more like a cohesive message or a set of messages. Anyhow, let's get to it. Grab a cozy bevy and a blanket. Snuggle up on the couch and have a listen. So glad you're here with me. Okay. So for the beginning of the week, we have the Two of Pentacles. So in the original tarot deck, the Rider-Waite, the card looks like a person doing almost like a yoga pose and balancing the pentacles in their hands. And it is still very much a balancing act. But you can see that the coins are within the Ouroboros, or the snake biting its own tail. And the Ouroboros creates the infinity loop that we see, and it also represents death and rebirth. So 2025 was the year of the snake, right? And the snake itself as well, even without the infinity sign, is about death and rebirth and protection. So what I'm seeing here is that it's about coming out of the year of the snake, and the rest of the cards will show what we're stepping into. So you can also see the ribbons around the snake. They're loose and they're beautifully floating or drifting. I sort of, even though this is an earth card, I picture the snake in water, just because of the floaty nature of the ribbon. And it's called, like, the formal name, I guess, is Lemniscate, and the Latin word meaning wrapped in ribbons, and it's supposed to add like a festive mood. So there's a balancing act, and there's death and rebirth. I see past and future, and it's sort of a, like, rolling with the punches, you know? Life has surprises, and it's learning to handle and roll with it. Also with this card, I see that there's the dark background, which I kind of depict as water, but I mean, it could be land or even just night. So if we think about, like, ribbons and the celebration that it's to depict, we're coming out of the festive time of the year, right? The holidays, like all of the special holidays for everyone. I hope it was beautiful for everyone, by the way. But I think it talks about learning to roll with the punches and celebrate regardless, which I think is pretty beautiful. I think that's pretty rad. So that's what we have representing apparently the beginning of the week, which kind of already sounds like sort of like a big picture kind of message, right? Anyway, we'll carry on. Two of Arrows. So this would sort of relate, sorry for my nails. I haven't been able to get rid of the shellac. But anyway, try not to judge me too harshly, especially if you're an esthetician. Okay, so we have the Two of Arrows. Decisions. And you can see here we have the double kind of effect, right? Balancing act. And it's not necessarily balancing here, but weighing choices, decisions. This particular card, and influenced in the description of this card for this deck specifically, it talks about an important decision or a big decision needs to be made or will become apparent to you. Like this is a card representing midweek, right? Which could even be tonight into tomorrow or whenever it fits for you. And the outcome weighs heavily on you, right? And that sounds daunting, but it can also be really exciting. And a reminder that whatever happens, good or bad, whatever is made of it, despite what comes, despite the ups and downs, is up to you. And you see the blindfold on this Vol, I think. Vol. I think either works, actually. And it's loosely tied. It's not super restricted. Like they could remove it if they wanted to. But the thing here is that it's taking away one of the senses, right? So what you're seeing with your eyes might be stressing you out or feel too big to kind of address, and you're like, speak no evil, see no evil, hear no evil, la 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 la, bed in the sand. But it is a warning from this card that whatever has shown up in your field for you to address needs to be addressed, and not addressing it or making the decision or making the move is a decision. Deciding to do nothing about it is a move. So you might as well put on your big person pants and kind of deal with it and steer the ship where you want it to go. So yes, it's about weighing the decisions. What route should you take? And there are ribbons, again, you can't see it probably because of the quality of lighting here, but there's ribbons tucked right under the spear aspect of the arrows. And it's again about, I take that as celebrating having a choice. And if we're looking at the crescent moon on this card, that's actually the phase of the moon that we're in tonight. I saw it on my way home and I was like, I have to put that in the video tonight. So a decision needs to be made, or mindset needs to be followed through on. Whatever you make of it is up to you. Okay? Oh yes, and a point I was making earlier about the blindfold, that taking away one of the senses, taking away Your vision will enhance your other senses. So it's sort of speaking to, don't let what you see cloud your judgment. Tap into your intuition and go with your gut. Hopefully not your fears, but with your gut and following your best path. Okay, then a card representing the end of the week. We have the King of Wands. Very cool. This card also speaks of decision making, but stating that you've got the power. And I mean, a king sitting in their throne, right? They're sitting in a place of power, and they need to believe that they can handle whatever comes and that they can follow the path that they wish to take if they're going to keep that throne, right? Because if they keep displaying weakness or doubts, then the doubt would spread to the kingdom, right? So it's about assertion. Now, Wands represents fire, which is also passion. And the King of Wands, I believe, also represents learning something new, so education or higher learning. I take that as kind of rolling with inspiration for a new side gig or a new hobby that you're looking into, or something that just really gets you excited to get up in the morning. Also, with the King of Wands, it's denoted as a salamander, King Salamander, right? Now, on the original Rider-Waite deck, it is a man sitting, but in his throne are symbols of the salamander. And there's a legend that salamanders were born of fire. And the depiction within the Rider-Waite was that you are protected, you are safe, and so I take that with this is that you are safe to go after what you want, and the time is now. Like fire under your seat, like okay, let's get going. Let's make this happen. So, right, legend, born of fire. So birth, rebirth, beginnings, death, and rebirth. So you have your chance, you're circling back throughout the week, like kind of doing a drive-by, like, oh, do I start this? Do I want to do this? Am I going to make it happen? Can I make it happen? Just do it. Yeah, so long as you're not hurting anyone or yourself, I say go for it. Then for the, oh yes, and it's not like a ribbon in a classic sense, but what is draped around the king's chest to me kind of said ribbon in a way, ribbon or scarf. So again, it's about a celebration, shifting the mindset to, should I do it? Do I have to feel guilty about doing this? To, I get to do this. Let's friggin' do this. At the end of the week, no, sorry, that was the end of the week. The bottom of the deck is the 8 of Pentacles. So the story with this card is that this animal, I forget the name of it, kind of looks like a little hedgehog, but I think they used a different name in the deck. Anyway, so there's a legend connected with this animal that they needed to feed their babies. So they went out to find food, and the quills or whatever in their coat are prickly, right? And it's holding the pentacles. But this particular legend spoken of in the description was that they find a bush of berries, and some of the berries have fallen on the ground, accessible to this animal, but they don't have any arms to like really pick anything up, right? So what this animal does is that they roll around on the ground so that the quills or the spikes in their coat stab the fruit so that they can take that back home to their babies. So pentacles is abundance and money and earth. If you see, there is a ribbon, and grapes too. We can see the grapes hanging from the tree. They represent abundance as well in the original Rider-Waite deck. To speak of this card individually as apart from the whole message, be open to learning. This card is about learning, and be open to learning different ways of getting to where you want to go with your goal or your hobby or your dream or your new job or whatever the case, whatever it is. We learn best by making mistakes, but this card can talk about learning to work smarter and not harder, right? It doesn't have to be difficult. They definitely, in the legend, where it rolled around to pick up the fruit, that's pretty ingenious, right? Especially for a cute little animal like that. So anyways, the ribbon, again, a celebration, and all those pentacles just hanging low from the tree, sort of easy to catch. So abundance is within reach. And again, the ribbon, I think, denoting to celebrate just that. So, big decision to make this week. Who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? I think the first half of the week's reading, right? We're in the darkness. And then later, we're coming into the light, right? We're coming out of the dark part of the year slowly. And the dark part of the year is for introspection. It's for rest. It's for rejuvenation. It's for healing. And some celebration with our holidays. And then here is about lighting the fire, making the most of your days, following the sun, following your dreams, following what makes you happy. And the way I see it, just so I have it right here, I have it on a piece of paper. So each card represents a gift. I think the ribbon, not like no pun intended, but tying it all together, celebrating here the gift of death and rebirth, the gift of endings and beginnings, the gift of unpredictability to make things more exciting and interesting and make for really cool stories to tell your family or your friends or your children someday. And with the teeny tiny little ribbons and the blindfold, I think that represents the gift of choice. It's difficult to make choices and hard choices sometimes, but it's better to have the choice than to not have it and just to be thrown into something, without your want to be thrown in. So, right, so that doesn't happen, you have to make the decision. You have to step up for yourself, or whatever the case, and address it. Not deciding is a decision. And if you don't decide, the universe will. So, okay. Then we have the gift of personal power. You are your own king, you are your own queen, whatever the case. To a large extent, you get to choose where you go, how you think about it, how you feel about it. So if you're going to dream big and really go for it. And the gift of opportunity, and the gift of learning, and the gift of self-governance. Then for that last card, the gift to act on your purpose and your desires, and to get things accomplished. Sometimes too, just a little side note that's kind of coming in, you can overwork, you can burn the candle at both ends. But again, it's about learning to work smarter, not harder, and to hold gratitude that you get to do this, you get to move in that direction, even if it's just incrementally 5 minutes of time dedicated toward it each day. Okay? That is what I have for you. I hope that resonates. If it does, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, I really definitely appreciate the likes, comments, and the subscribes. I hope that you have a most beautiful week. Take care.